Now that Itoshi Rin has finally stepped up this game, Bashirmaniac are now facing a rampant destroyer, hellbent on tearing through each and every defender. With next week's chapter 272 ending off on a break, I'm inclined to think that a goal for PXG is coming very soon. What's going on, everybody? My name is Animasu, and today I'm going to be overviewing Blue Lock chapter 271 with you all, titled Life is Beautiful. If you enjoy staying up to date with Blue Lock or just enjoy strawberry pancakes like me, make sure to click that subscribe button, comment below your thoughts, and also feel free to join my community Discord to interact directly. Without further ado, let's dive deeper into the past of Itoshi Rin and his family. Today's chapter starts us off as usual with intro text which states, the Itoshi brothers in their early days. Rin's story began here. The first thing we visually see is a young Itoshi Sai arriving back home, holding the hand of Rin as it's likely he once again took his little brother out for ice cream. Waiting at the front door though, their mother yells at Rin for once again breaking his toys, as this seems to be a common occurrence based on her saying, "How many times now?" Their father is also standing in the background watching in silence, looking very sketchy and angry based on the clenched fist, frown, and just the overall vibes he's giving off. His face then turns from anger to confusion though, because with Rin unable to get his words out, Sai ultimately steps in and claims that he was the one to break this toy. This causes even Rin and his mother to become confused, so while crouching down to further question him, Sai just tells his mother that he got annoyed and snapped. The father then urges Sai to come talk with him for a bit, more than likely for punishment or to hopefully just talk about what's going on between him and Rin. The two brothers say their goodbyes by sticking out their tongues towards one another, making direct eye contact with those beady owl eyes. Page 2 takes a huge turn though, because instead of seeing a young Itoshi Rin or Sai, we witness some Godzilla type of kaiju roaring and stomping through a city. People on the ground level are then shown watching in terror, as they call this monster the final boss, and scream about how the world is ending. With one guy pointing to his right though, the hero evolved man seems to be trying to stand back up and protect the people. Despite his energy reserves being far past their limit, the hero is somehow managing to maintain his giant form and reignite the fire to push him on. Striking a pose to then siphon energy from all around him, the hero then takes inspiration from Goku's Spirit Bomb, as he's seen absorbing all the life energy from the surrounding people. Everyone's glad to raise up their hands and spare some life energy, as even an old man can be seen trying to give up the last drops of his life. With adequate power collected and reaching out his hand, the hero then rips off his ultimate attack, titled Life is Beautiful. This seems to be where the chapter title originated from, as we see a giant energy beam smashing into the monster's stomach. I guess Charles' demon aura and all the other cool effects were not for nothing, because Nomura-san was just warming up to write a kaiju manga. Anyways, the next page then shows little kids at a daycare imitating the hero's ultimate move, posting up and screaming out like kids normally do. While playing Jenga with Rin, the other kids and his teacher even are ranting on about how awesome Evolved Man is. The teacher even says how she cried from watching the last episode due to its amazing special effects, which I can indeed relate to because I just caught up on My Hero's latest episode. The kids playing Jenga with Rin then try to get his attention, but once again with those beady owl eyes, this boy is completely zoned out. Instead of playing along like normal though, a young Rin just falls face first into the tower, obliterating the entire game. If you look closely, it even looks like as if Rin caused the front tooth of the other boy to fall out, maybe as a Jenga block flew and hit his mouth or something. The next two pages just serve to further demonstrate the kind of destructive child Rin was, because he firstly is seen trying to leap onto a group of birds. Not just that, but the kid literally was perched atop the playground equipment, stalking and waiting for them. Luckily the birds managed to fly away in time, leaving Rin crashing face first into the ground, but instead of crying about his bloody nose, he just kinda looks up with a disappointed face that he couldn't catch his prey. We then switch to the scene of a cheetah running down and killing a gazelle, as this seems to be what a young Rin likes watching in his free time. The close-up of the cheetah then ripping through the prey's throat. This only piques Rin's interest more, as he scoots even closer to the television screen. The chapter then cuts however to their mother and father sitting at the dinner table, talking about how Rin has once again caused trouble at school. Not only has he been zoning out and hurting other kids, he even jumped off the top of the bars and bloodied his nose. His mother even goes on to worry if she's being a good enough parent, because even Sai has been acting strange lately, and she attributes that to Rin. Speaking of which, the young boy is eavesdropping on this entire conversation, as his father explains that boys just have impulsive natures and will calm as he grows older. With Rin closing the door though as the conversation ends, his brother Sai ultimately walks down the stairs and calls out to him. As usual, Sai tries to cheer Rin up by taking him to get ice cream, however Rin refuses to go, obviously upset with what he's just heard. With the two just opting to hang out in their room instead, Rin firstly asks if he's a weirdo compared to others. Sai just jokes by saying they're brothers, so yeah. However, Rin continues on to ask if he's a bother to everyone around. Sai comforts Rin by saying that people often call him weird and annoying too. However, he isn't unhappy, so why should Rin be? After all, he's just like his older brother, so with Rin nodding his head, he says that if he's the same as Sai, then he's fine with being weird. With the TV then once again replaying the Evolved Man fight with the monster, Sai goes on to say how childish it all is. Apparently all his friends too are into this series, and the hero evolved man who fights to protect the earth is super cringy to him. Itoshi Rin, however, tells Sai that he doesn't like the hero, as the final monster boss is instead his favorite part. With the scene then once again being shown of the hero blasting the monster's stomach, Rin tells Sai to look how hard it's trying, even in the face of someone better than it. Even with everyone screaming in opposition to its victory, the monster is fighting for its life with every fiber of its being. We then even see a continuation of the scene here as the monster charged through the beam, to then clamp his jaws onto the hero's head. This monster also seems to be where Itoshi Rin's berserker aura came from, so technically I was right about his childhood toys being the representation. Itoshi Rin even continues on to say that even if it's filled with holes or must self-destruct, the monster still fights to defeat the hero, which he finds super awesome. The monster does indeed self-destruct just like Cell, taking the entire city block and every person along with him. This of course intrigues Sai, as Rin continues on to say that even if he's hurt and beaten, he wants to destroy someone amazing and die like that. He even begins to drool once again while making this statement, which causes Sai to just widen his eyes in confusion. The text bubbles for young and current Rin are both shown to be black, representing his inner thoughts and deepest ones, as he's made a huge realization. His ego isn't just a destructive impulse, but rather destruction at the cost of one's life. That has been Itoshi Rin's true nature since childhood, as he finally breaks free from Isagi directly in front of the box. With those familiar spiral eyes coming back and his tongue hanging out, Rin is back in action, and hopefully better than ever. The final page of today's chapter actually shows Kaiser sprinting in from Rin's right, taunting that he should put his tongue back in his mouth. With Rin glaring over with his berserker eyes and Kaiser staring back with metavision, the first official duel between Kaiser and Rin will begin next week. With this matchup being the end of today's chapter, we then have some outro text which reads, "Giving your all to know your ego, engrave this way of life into the world." This of course just refers to Itoshi Rin and his upcoming attempt at a goal, but make sure to let me know what you all think will happen below. Will Itoshi Rin end up scoring a goal in the next chapter? Will Kaiser stop him and get possession, or will Gagamaru finally get the first save of this match? I find it absolutely insane that no shot attempts have been saved halfway into the game, and also Noah just straight up lied to us. He said they'd be using impact subs heavily throughout the game, however I don't see my boy Nero on the field yet. Also, Rin assisting Shidou theory has continued to unfold, as Rin is now talking about sacrificing his own pride and life for victory. There's just so much cool stuff this chapter gave me to think about, so comment down below any questions or thoughts you had pop up. Anyways, with this sadly being the end of today's chapter overview, I just want to thank you all so much for supporting my channel. If you all enjoy staying up to date with Blue Lock or just enjoy my content, please support the channel by clicking that subscribe button, commenting below your thoughts, and also feel free to join my community Discord so you can interact with me directly. Me and other members of the community chat pretty frequently there, and it's also the fastest way to be informed of new uploads or even sneak peeks of the channel. Anyways, I hope to see some of you there. I hope all of you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.